What's going on, guys? This is the first episode of my personal IGTV channel. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be talking about, but I thought let me start with something that you have to just start. And to be fair, this has actually been on my mind for a while. I was going to do YouTube and I thought, okay, yeah, I'll do it next week. And then I thought IGTV's now come out. This is the perfect opportunity because I love Instagram. So I thought, why not just take the opportunity now and start the first episode? I want to release something to you every single week. And for those who don't know me, I run the podcast or host the podcast Know Your Legacy. So you can check it out at Know Your Legacy on Instagram, on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and I'm putting it on Spotify as well. But for me, if you're looking at this for the first time and you don't know what my message is about, it's all about legacy. Thinking about what is it that you want to accomplish before you die? How do you want to be remembered? Like, I'm trying to get people to think about that one question. How do you want to be remembered? Because for me, I think that changes the question dramatically in terms of what you're actually doing with your life. So I'm at home right now. This is where the house that I grew up in. But I'm just going outside now. But I'm interested in understanding what ticks people. Like, why is it you're doing what you're doing now? There must be a reason. There must be something that gets you to think about what is it that you want to accomplish, because all of this stuff has to obviously mean something, because in the end you realize that you're not actually mortal. That you're not immortal, that you're actually mortal, and then you haven't got all the time in the world to do everything that you possibly want to do. So what is it you're doing today to actually get to that end goal of making your life look like one big adventure, whatever that adventure might be for you? So the whole concept is legacy, understanding what it is you want to leave behind and how you're going to be doing that right now. Let me go back inside and just put on another track. Actually, no, it's Tory Lanez playing. I'll just leave this on. But there's actually better light in here because it's not reflecting as much. But fine. So what this is the kitchen, by the way. But I'm talking to you every single week. I'm going to be updating you on what I'm doing, documenting my process of building up this podcast and understanding what I'm trying to accomplish myself. Because I'm trying to do this as well as you guys. Whoever's out there trying to accomplish their goals. If you're thinking about doing something big for your life right now, you've got an idea and you're executing on it, or you're thinking about doing something but you're not sure how to execute, I just want you to be inspired by the fact that I don't know either. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to follow one step at a time, and I feel that once you take one step, the next step becomes clearer. It's almost like when you're walking through fog, you can't see anything apart from what's right in front of you. What's right in front of you is all you can see. And then when you take the next step, the rest of it becomes clear, because your vision doesn't allow you to see that far down the road. And sometimes that's scary. It is scary to know the fact that I can't see the whole path, and a lot of people get stuck there. But you have to have the courage to understand that you won't be able to see everything clearly all the time, but you still need to take the step to actually move forward in that direction. So I'm making this channel to talk about the things that I've learned along my journey so far, in terms of mindset, in terms of belief, in terms of broadcasting a message using podcasts specifically, because that's what I've started doing, interviewing people like Joel Brown, like Emil Steenveld, Sahara Rose, Ruby Fremont, Benjamin Gadimi. These guys that I've managed to be lucky enough and fortunate enough to speak to so far have shared so much wisdom about their own journeys that it's inspired me to think about, they started from nothing. They started with a dream. They weren't born into rich millionaire families. Some of them were immigrants. Some of them were people that suffered with severe illness, but they still managed to make it happen, and they're still trying to figure it out. That's the thing, that you need to understand. Your legacy is your whole life, and your whole life is going to be unfolding step by step as you go on. It's not something you can understand straight away. The guy who's 20 and the guy who's 40 is trying to figure out how to be 20 for the first time. The guy who's 40 is trying to figure out what it's like to be 40 for the first time, because he's never been 40 years old. And if you're listening right now and you're, say, 25 like me, well, I just turned 26, but if you're like 26 like me, I've never been 26 years old. This is the first time I'm being 26, the first time I'm in the circumstances I'm in. I'm trying to figure it out. So just realize that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, it's okay. But as long as you think about your next steps, as long as it's on your mind all the time, as long as it's something that you're worried about, in terms of, not worried that, you know, everything's a mess and nothing's going to work out, worried in the sense that you want it to work out. And so you're consciously trying to plan and find answers. That's good. Use death, the fact that you're going to die. As Steve Jobs says, he would realize the fact that death is something that's imminent, it's going to happen to everyone, and he used that as motivation to push himself to do things that aren't always things that he would normally do. And I was actually listening to something by a guy called Ben Nemtin. So he's the founder of The Buried Life. Like, this concept came about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when they started the show on MTV, The Buried Life. If you've heard of it, you know, you know how great it is and how inspiring it is. But if you haven't, like me, and only found out about it a few months ago, you'd know that these guys in their 20s or in their late teens ask themselves, what do we want to do before we die? And then that problem, they realize everyone's suffering, because there's so many things people want to do, but no one's doing anything about it. They allow their dreams and their aspirations and their feelings of excitement to be buried by the daily grind. And what I'm trying to uncover is, how is every legend in the world becoming a legend? What are they doing to create the legacy in their life that's going to matter, to leave the world a better place than it actually is, and to leave it with their gift or talent that only they were born with? Each of you right now listening have something that you've been brought here to share. And each of the people that I speak to have that gift, and they've figured out what it is for them, and now they're sharing it with the world and being paid for it and having success off the back of it, because they've taken the time to find out what that is for them. And so far, I know mine is communication. In the rawest form, I know that that's where my strength is. I'm not good at maths, I'm not good at science, that's not the areas where I thrive. I'm not good at drama. But when it comes to speaking to people, holding a conversation and finding and being able to draw out information from people, the best of information, I can do that, and I enjoy it. So it sounds like a rant, but it's not a rant. But this is what this Instagram channel is going to be about. The Know Your Legacy channel is all about my podcast, and it's got quotes on it and stuff like that I've learned from the people I'm interviewing every week. But the Instagram TV channel there is going to be for you to be able to watch the full podcast there. This channel is all going to be about my life and how I'm documenting my journey to do the things that I want to do, and how I'm figuring it out along the way. So that's me. If you don't already know, my name's Vipul. People call me V. Or Vips, whatever's easier for you guys. And yeah, just expect one video a week. I'm so glad that these guys have now opened up the space to make more than 1 minute video, because I love to talk. So 1 minute's definitely not enough for me. But anyway, guys, see you on the next one.